Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? This is The Last Word, and we are live with Mr. Sam Mulliner. This is The Last Word. It's the final wrap-up of another long night of videos. We've been going 5 hours since 7 o'clock, so we're shattered as per usual. We're going to be looking at the lineups of both sides. We'll talk about the game, first half, second half. We've got reaction from Carl as well. He's very happy tonight. We are going to play an audio clip of Steve Bruce. Last week I couldn't be bothered with it. Last game out, I put Pep Guardiola on instead. But yeah, we've got Bruce because he deserves a bit of praise tonight. And we'll read some of your comments out literally right at the end. So let's crack on with it. How are you, Sam, after a long night?
Good. I mean, these long nights are worth it when we don't lose. So it was a nice unexpected point. So it's made the day go a little bit quicker, hasn't it?
It has, when we don't lose. Let's take a look at Liverpool. Liverpool line up. This is how they lined up. And the first thing you do, Sam, you look at that front three and think, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of things that you kind of gravitate towards with that Liverpool side. You look at the front three and then you look at the wing backs. We thought maybe one of them would be rested. Maybe Firmino or Mane and Minamino would come in. That wasn't the case. But on the flip side of that, you think, well, that centre-back combination that was there to be exploited. The midfield three isn't Liverpool's best by any stretch. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Thiago and Wijnaldum on the bench. So, yeah, we were obviously concerned. We were all expecting a defeat. Of course we were, but that probably isn't even the strongest lineup Liverpool could have put out tonight. No,
you're right. And obviously the fullbacks bombing on, and we'll talk about that shortly because they did not bomb on, which we were delighted about. So what we'll do next is we'll take a look at the tune. And if we have a look at that, brilliant to see Callum Wilson. Look, we expected Callum Wilson to be back tonight, to be honest with you, after being rested, whatever you want to call it. Looking at that again with the wing backs, Yedlin, Shea, Fernandez, Clark, Matt Ritchie, Hayden, but Matty Longstaff was another positive for me tonight. Starting in midfield, now got 2 games under his belt against 2 top teams, and the lad has not done himself any harm whatsoever. And these are top teams that he is playing. Jacob Murphy was on the right, Joe Linton on the left. A strongish bench for us. Obviously, Dubravka, fantastic. See him back, and when will he really challenge Carl Darlow for number 1? Probably another week or so. Carroll, Shelvey, Gale. You've got options there, Lewis, Almiron. But overall, Sam, how did you see the lineup? You happy?
Reasonably. I've got to be honest, I was expecting a few more changes. Only one change. And I thought, obviously we knew Wilson was going to come back in, but I thought it was going to be at the expense of Joe Linton and not Almiron. I mean, Miggy had a horrendous game against Man City. But, Matty really has been chucked in at the deep end, hasn't he? Out of the team for so long, and then bang, 2 games in 3 days against the best 2 teams in the country. And he's just took it in his stride. He's just such an exciting, tenacious little bugger, isn't he? He's done absolutely superb. Yedlin with a run in the team. Who would have thought that? And Matt Ritchie continuing his place. I thought he might have been taken out tonight and Lewis would have got the nod, but Ritchie needed a reaction because he was a bit poor against City as well, wasn't he? But Bruce got a reaction out of the players, and all in all, a real solid defensive display. Not to mention Carl Darlow, of course, but we know what he's about by now. Should be in the England squad, and you almost expect it.
Apparently, we're the first team to keep a clean sheet against Liverpool this season as well. Jane Atlanta, who's obviously a regular, pops on in the fan reaction membership, gold membership as well. So thank you very much, Jay, for supporting us throughout the year as well. Happy New Year to yourself and everybody else. Thanks for all the content, says Connor. Long nights you put in. Nice to hear fans chatting about the team and allowing other fans to get involved with the fan reaction show. Yeah, so nice comment tonight, which we're liking. Will the real DeAndre Yedlin please stand up? Referencing M&M. The game itself, Sam, we started actually pretty good. Actually, it was like the first 10, 15 minutes. Like, who was this? We were actually saying we should be 1-0 up. Had a couple of chances. We've seen a free kick come in, and there was a header that went wide. Callum Wilson one's probably the one that we might, we don't want to look back at that, because really you should have squared it at Jacob Murphy. but Wilson being greedy. But I like that. He's greedy, but really should have squared, shouldn't he?
Yeah, he should, but he's a striker. He's a proper striker. Proper strikers want to score goals at every given opportunity, so there's no way he was squaring it, was it? I agree he should have done, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. Yeah, it was probably a bit optimistic trying to beat Alisson at his near post, but he could have had a couple of chances. I think first half, I thought we were superb. Probably one of, if not the best first half performance, certainly of the season so far, in my opinion. Went toe to toe with Liverpool, went toe to toe with the champions, and held our own and were good value. Mane was quiet tonight. I was dreading our left-hand side going up against Alexander-Arnold and Mo Salah. I mean, Salah had a couple of chances, obviously forced that one brilliant save from Darlow, but all in all, coped well. Really, really impressive. Obviously, after we got to about 70 minutes and then took the point, and it was backs against the wall for a while. But, I think we didn't deserve to lose tonight, I don't think. It would have been harsh on us if we didn't come away with a point. It was a nice, pleasant surprise.
It was. You talked about high press as well. That surprised me in particular. Matty was doing that. I was seeing a picture of him just before. Darlow keeping it in. I love that 1-on-1 save. I said that earlier on, scoring the players. It reminded me of the De Bruyne one, the previous game. Big, strong, saving themselves. Very confident in Carl Darlow, which is brilliant. Up there, I'll get him slated because I scored him only a 9. So that's how good the performance was. A lot from the defenders tonight. But yeah, I think that's a big one for me, the Salah save. And then we going into half time thinking 0-0, thinking this is positive, this is good, I'm pleased that they've put up a shift in, because that's all we ask, really. That's all we ask, is put a performance in. If we get beat, fair enough. And the lads, you kind of deny that tonight. They did put that performance in, where several games beforehand they didn't. Then come the second half, it kind of changed a little bit, because I felt Liverpool had a lot more the ball, a lot more dominant. They were having a lot more chances. That I think Fabian Schär springs to mind straight away for me. Obviously, a hero tonight. Johnny scored him a whopping 10 out of 10 tonight. So he's been voted the man of the match and clearing it off the line. But his performance overall, Sam, was sensational, wasn't it?
It was. He was in the middle of the 3 centre backs, as you pointed out in the watch along, which was a nice little tactical tweak that we had. And Fernandes was pushed out on the right hand of the 3, which he was more accustomed to when playing alongside Lascelles. Schär was superb. It's his best performance in nigh on 12 months. It was brilliant, and he showed real grit, determination. There was real fire in his eyes. But as we saw when the camera panned to him close up, it was great to see. And it was there was a lot more determined bodies out there tonight, which had been missing over the past few weeks and months. We used to, in seasons gone by, a real hard-working, gritty team performance, which I don't think that's always been the case so far this season. And to get back to that tonight and to nick a point was really pleasing to see.
Yeah, we know that obviously the performances, as a comment on screen here, it hasn't been great to watch, but tonight we're just focusing on tonight. Enjoy it, because it's rare. It's very, very rare that we can talk positive about Newcastle. So please do try not to be negative. Overall, I get it, but positivity tonight, because the lads deserved it. Several of people, obviously, you could mention Wilson was running the channels. Very, very tough afternoon, evening for him. But he scored very high for his work rate. And I love the fact that in the first half he beat Phillips, and yes, he should have passed it, but I love the fact that Wilson, bit of confidence up top with him, which we haven't really had probably since maybe Demba Ba / Papi Cisse, that we've actually got a proper goal scorer. So any small chances that may have came his way, I'm very confident. He didn't get it tonight, fair enough, but Newcastle do end the game 0-0, and you've got to say, Sam, Mr. Steve Bruce deserves a lot of credit tonight, which we very rarely give.
Yeah, credit to where credit's due. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think we're all kind of still in the Bruce out camp side of things, but a few nice little tactical tweaks in there, a change of attitude with the high press, which was much, much needed. That was great to see. The midfield looks so much more comfortable with Matty and Isaac Hayden in the middle. A lot more organised, just more solid all round, because it was just beginning to look such a mess with the last few games with John, Joe and Sean and Hendrick kind of drifting in from the right-hand side, which doesn't work. But credit to Bruce. An unexpected point, which kind of takes off the heat a little bit. That pressure's always going to be there. Saw him before this game kind of get a bit shirty in his press conferences with his comments about his remit and this, that, and the other. But it's a nice little early birthday. Well, it is his birthday now, isn't it? He's 60 years old today, on the 31st of December. So nice little birthday present for him, isn't it? Which,
you'll be happy.
We deserve the point.
Yeah, he'll be happy now because the pressure's it's not off, but he'll feel. Thank God for that. And when he's going, putting his pillow of the night. Steve Bruce, we've got an audio clip, and actually mentions the reporter mentions about that comment that you just said there, Sam. We'll be back with you in a minute. Yes, Steve Bruce.
Well, it just shows you the Premier League, doesn't it? West Brom defended very, very well, and then get beat badly last night. That shows you how difficult the league is. But the one thing you're going to have to do, of course, is defend well against them, because up the top end of the pitch they're very, very good. So it's what we can do at the other end as well. Can we then cause, on the counter attack, can we cause them a few problems, and let's see what we can do. Well, look, I was trying to be as genuinely honest as I can that for the last 3-4 years we've been in the bottom half of the Premier League. So if you're in the bottom half of the Premier League, then the first thing you have to avoid, of course, is a relegation. Not that we want to talk about that, but so my remit from the off is always to keep Newcastle as a Premier League club and move forward as best we can. Now, we finished 12th, 13th last year. I also said, which has got lost, that we've got to try and can we get anywhere near the top 10? That would be, that's what we're looking for. But, it's the other simple facts and the honest truths that where we are at the moment is where we are. Well, he brings us a goal threat. It's quite simple. I mean, he's had a great start to his Newcastle career, and we hope he can be a threat tonight. He gives us that natural goal scorer. He's not happy unless he scores a goal, and certainly in that respect, he's done very, very well.
So Steve Bruce was talking about Callum Wilson for you guys, if you were wondering at the very end there. So Newcastle obviously pick up a point. It's as you were in the Premier League. Before we wrap up, we've got a couple of other things to go through, and then it's goodbye and end of the year and what have you. We'll get emotional. But Carl, very, very happy. I don't know why I've just said that. Carl's very happy with the point tonight. He has his thoughts on it.
Thank you very much, Lee. What a result. What a result. I've said in previous videos that we would get a point or some points from these next 3 games. Not through any sort of support of Steve Bruce, just that we're lucky and that we would get a point. That being said, there was no luck about tonight. I think he's set up well. The personnel that have played have done their jobs. DeAndre Yedlin was fantastic. Fabian Schär, fantastic. Matty Longstaff brought some excellent energy in the middle. He kept their midfielders quiet. Isaac Hayden was brilliant. The whole back 4-5 were very good. Callum Wilson was making excellent runs. I don't think Joe Linton did anything wrong either. I thought he had some good passages of play, held the ball up well at times. Some of his passing was a bit astray, but you could say the same for a few people. We had a lot of chances tonight, some good chances that we could have taken and got a result here, but I'm not going to moan about that at all. We got a point against arguably the best side in the league. I'm going to give Steve Bruce credit where he's due. Call us fickle, I'm not bothered. Like we said, we're always fair here. If he needs criticising, he needs criticising. He's got it right tonight. We've got a point, can't grumble. Happy days. We kick on into next year on a positive. Let's go and get a result at Leicester. Come on, the boys.
Yeah, he's a lot more happier than what we look. We are happy. We're just tired. That's all, everyone. So that is a wrap. Before we do wrap it up, well, it's not a wrap because I wanted to talk briefly because the transfer window is literally opening and you will hear it because you will see about 5 transfer rumours every day, everywhere, and it doesn't make any sense. And I did ask Brandon, and this is a clip that we used earlier on tonight, about the positions where Newcastle need to strengthen. Let us know in the comments and we'll read them out at the very end. But here's Brandon.
I would say on the left back side, for sure we need people in. I would definitely go for Jethro Willems, my fellow countryman. He's flirting with us. He sounds like he's want to go and come back to us. So I would definitely go for him. Besides that, another prospect I would say is Denzel Dumfries. Although, as he comes as well from PSV Eindhoven, he's probably has a price tag around 20 million, so I don't see actually paying that for him. But if we can get a loan from him for PSV Eindhoven, I would definitely take it. I cannot see that happen, but I would all day go for Jethro Willems. Besides that, we definitely need someone in front next to Callum Wilson, because he is lacking up in front. He's struggling over there. He needs someone from the midfield probably as well, but I cannot really think about who we should bring in there. If I have to name someone who we could use in front, it has to be Josh King. Although I don't think I'm not sure if there's a price tag for him. It probably is. But if you can get him on loan somehow, I don't think Bournemouth will do that. But if it will be great, and if somehow Mike actually finds some money in his pocket, I would definitely pay down for Josh King. Let's see if he wants to reunite with Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser. That's a plus for us, that he might want to come to us to see his fellow teammates. But I cannot really see it happen. It's going to be a long season, lads. But Lee, that's it.
And that was it. That was Brandon. Sam, before we wrap up then, you talked about left back, shock. Dutch, right back, shock. But those are the positions, left back, right back, and a striker. Do you agree?
One right back needs to leave, and a left back will be brought in. I would like to see another forward-thinking player brought in, but it's all going to be loan moves. Them loan moves we've got available, utilised. There's not going to be any permanent business unless it's a freebie. Maybe Jethro Willems can talk to European teams now, can't he, on a Bosman? But yeah, I'm expecting a right back to go out the door, as well as the usual suspects: Atsu, Aarons, Saive, all them lot will go. But incomings, I just want to see another attacking forward-minded player, because it just feels like if Wilson gets injured, we are really in some thick shit, aren't we? So it'd be nice to add some real strength in depth, quality strength in depth.
Yeah, transfer window. Obviously, we'll probably do a couple of rumours videos. I'm not a big fan of them, but we'll do some official ones, whether they're in or out. Let's have a look at a few of your comments we haven't read out. John and Sean, never again. John Joe Shelby means Jason, thank you. Connor says we could do with another centre midfielder in January, but bit more of attacking. I know what he means by that. Yeah, like a box-to-box, someone who can get up and put the thing. Our midfielders don't score many goals. That's probably Mesut Ozil. Yeah, I mean, the wages alone. That won't happen. But he's in the work rate alone, the wages alone. Ozil's too lazy. Yeah, I'll have to agree. He's a great talent, but not for our team as well. And Josh King, obviously, Brandon mentioned that as well. Will he change our fate? Problem is that Callum Wilson can't score. Problem isn't that Callum Wilson can't score the goals. He doesn't get enough chances. So, but Josh King could also do a job out wide. I wouldn't be against that, but I think Brandon's right. It'll be a loan. Need a fullback, Jethro Willems, right winger, and like I say, Kent from Rangers come in on the wing, and a striker, Morales as well. That wouldn't surprise me, Jason Al Mohammadi, because he's Steve Bruce takes him everywhere with him. But that is it, Sam. Thank you as ever. It's been a late one. End of the year. I can't speak now, but that is it. We shall see you next year. Not really. We'll see in a couple of days. You know what I mean by that. Have a happy new year. Enjoy your celebrations tomorrow, everybody. the best you can. Stay safe, and we shall see you in a couple of days' time for the preview for Leicester for the weekend. Ta-da, everyone.
Happy New Year.